feel like, okay, why are you switching? So that let
Yeah,
them
yeah.
understand that connection. That's why I meant. That's
Yes,
why I'm
sir.
making that comment.
Yes, sir.
So it's always very, very important to make that connection. Why you are making that switch uh, between two courses, so that let them understand the link. Then
Yes, sir.
um, so the next thing I needed to ask you is, why did you choose this course? So, like, okay, I was trying to say something before I got disconnected. You made this point. It's interesting, but you can save your time. First of all, you majored in physics education.
Education.
Yeah,
Yes.
and part of the experiences you learned was, you can mention what you learned in that physics education, and then
Yeah.
how long how long did you serve in this area council where you were involved with project management? How long?
1 year. 1 year.
Good. And during your NYSC, you were privileged to serve with the area council where you were
Okay.
involved with um, project management activities, and
Yeah.
this was where you developed the interest for project management, which is in line with what you studied. So you've
Okay, sir.
answered the reason why you chose this course. Now, the
Okay.
second bullet point, remember, use bullet point. The second bullet point is, um, you chose this course because of the importance in terms of coordination. Every industry needs a project manager. For instance,
Okay.
narrow it down to an experience in Nigeria. Pick a case study of what you were
Okay.
able to do as a project manager, but you don't have enough
Okay.
tool. You don't have all the necessary tools to be able to do that well. That's why you're going for this course. Does it make
Okay.
sense?
Yes, sir.
So apply it, personalize the experience, personalize the answer,
Okay, sir.
personalize the experience, and personalize the answer in such a way that it applies to you. All right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's what they are looking for. Then, if they ask you, why did you choose this course?
Okay.
Sorry, why did you choose this school?
Okay. I choose Central Michigan University for 3 reasons. First, it is one of the best public research university in America.
Hello.
Two.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. I can hear you,
Please.
sir.
Please. Don't I encourage candidates not to celebrate a school you've not been to. You know why? Do you know why I'm saying that? Because if you talk about a school you've not been to, and if this visa officer, they see students all the time. They sometimes you see them typing, you don't know what they are doing. Sometimes they may be googling the school you just mentioned. And if you mention something that doesn't fall well with what is the real information, that might seem like you don't know what you're saying. So instead
So
of
this one is new information.
okay, but
Yeah.
that's fine. So the reason why I'm saying it is, make sure that your information is authentic.
Yes, that's
And
information.
secondly, channel attention more to yourself rather than to a school. When they are asked, why
Okay.
did you choose a school? Talk about the reference, how you got to know about this school. Talk about, do you have a scholarship?
No, I don't have any scholarship.
Okay, so when you need for you to talk about the school, talk about this school in a way that it helps to answer for you, that it pleads that it presents your case better. For instance, um, why did you choose this school? I chose this school because of a reference. You talk about people, maybe an alumni who has been there, or people who referred you. The second point is, you talk about um, this school in terms of their research capacity or whatever they are doing.
I
That's
was going to say that in number
okay.
2, sir.
Okay,
I
go
was
ahead.
going
Go ahead. I didn't want you to waste time
No,
on
I'm
dwelling
not
on the
wasting
school.
time, sir. Yeah.
Okay,
I
go
choose
ahead.
Central
Sorry.
Michigan University for 3 reasons. One, because it's one of the best public research universities to offer courses in science of administration. I also choose the school because I was privileged to attend their webinar, and I was lucky to speak with Professor Peter Dohon, who is my who is a senior associate professor of the department for over 20 years. And I also had the opportunity to speak with the graduate admission coordinator, Mr. Felix, and he gave me assuring insights on what I'll be expecting during the duration of my program, which includes a diverse and welcoming community for international students. And thirdly, I choose the school because of its dual specialization and flexible course curriculum that gives me the opportunity to select courses such as project management, analytic thinking, that will help.
Hello.
Yes,
I'm sorry to cut you. You see the reason why. I hope everybody is listening. You see the reason why I encourage students, please avoid anything that will put you on a long road to talking. The reason why I'm saying this is you have spoken so well, but your interviewers are expecting you to appropriate this experience. I've not seen anything that you personalize that you're going to use project management to solve, or a solution that you are bringing with this project management. You're just celebrating school, talking about people. This is what they are looking for. You are moving from your country to go to another country to acquire knowledge. What do you need that knowledge for? What solution are you bringing? What problem are you going to solve? That's what they are looking for. You see all these things you're talking about, they are good, but they are not important. So once you start talking like this, they'll start typing. It's called bene cucuristi, separata viam. You run very well, but off the track. So you stick to the stick to the track. What they need from you is simple, practical case study. Pick a case study. In your experience, you've worked in this area. Talk about a problem that you encountered. This problem that you encountered in your organization or wherever you have experienced project management experience. You know, I've been a project manager before, so I can understand what you're trying to say. But pick a case study. Talk about it in a way that you felt limited with your knowledge, you felt limited with the experience, that you couldn't serve your clients, you were not able to dispense your services because of lack of knowledge, because of lack of information. Hence the reason why you chose this school. And this school has this knowledge so much that they can offer you to be able to handle this problem. That's what they are looking for. Save yourself the energy of speaking grammar. They are not there to look at your grammar. They are looking for people who hit the point. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you speak very well, good English, bold, courageous, but please stick to the point. There's something they are looking for.
Yes, sir.
There's something they're looking for. Until you give them that, they are not going to give you any attention, because you need to talk to convince somebody. That's what they're looking for. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. So go back to this video when you have time and see how you can appropriate this experience. Personalize a case study that you were not able to solve, that this school has a solution to give you. And then you apply it to Nigeria, a problem in Nigeria that project management needs to do. In the ministry, there's no project management in the ministry. You know what I'm saying. I used to work for the government, so I understand. Even if they are, but they are not working, because the way the institutions in Nigeria is going on today simply shows a failure of project manager. If there are project managers who have key ways to track and use KPI to monitor projects and follow up with everything, we won't be going where we are going. Like I said, if they are not functioning. So talk about it in a way that is a solution-based. That's what education is all about. Education is about bringing solution or solving problem.
So can I ask a question?
Shoot.
I was thinking what you are saying now, I was about bringing it out if I were to be asked why I choose the course. That's where I wanted to come in and say the reasons how the course is currently affecting my present job. So I wanted to know if I'm giving this as why I choose the school. In the case of why did I choose the course, what will I now pass to the VO? If I'm giving an experience of, oh, I choose this because this is going to affect me in my present place of work or future or whatever.
Hold on. Your problem, I want everybody to listen now. This is a very important question.
Yes, sir.
Each time you are speaking to your VO, talk to your VO like you don't have any other opportunity to express yourself. Do you know what the questions they are going to ask you?
Yes, sir.
So since you don't know the questions, why do you need to hide or keep behind the most juicy part of your information? Why do you need to keep it behind? When they engage you to talk, shoot all your shots. Give out everything you have. That's an interview. You talk like you don't have any other option. So usually I encourage people to use logical blockers. Logical blockers simply means when you're answering one question, you're using one question to answer others in a very succinct way. Any way you can apply an answer to block the next question, use it. For instance, when they ask you, why did you choose this course? That question, you can use that question to answer 3 questions. It simply means you talk about your history past, your history present, and your history future. Your history past being how you come about that course, what you are currently doing, and how it connects to that course, which is history present. Now, what do you intend to do with this course with this new program? How does it connect to your past, and what do you plan to do with it? By so doing, you've already tackled the 3 questions that you're being expected to answer without bothering anybody. This is what they are looking for. Don't say, okay, you didn't ask me this, because you don't know what they are going to ask you. And this is the reason why I encourage people not to talk too much, because when you talk too much, they pick a case from your statement, which may take another turn. You don't want to go that route.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Does this help?
Yes, sir. A lot. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So when you have time, go back to this video and see how you can apply some of this. Do not wait. Everybody, please listen to me. Do not wait and say, when they ask me this, you may not have that time. And I also tell everybody, the first 90 seconds of your interview is when they make decisions about you, about your first impression. So if you start making, fumbling in the first 90 seconds, they will start typing your arguments and all the stuff you need to say. So you really need to be careful and make those first good impressions. And keep your mouth shut where you don't have to talk. Where you need to talk, extra. Like places like if you have a sponsor and this sponsor has sponsored somebody, that's the time to mention it. Who is sponsoring you? My dad. He also sponsored my elder brother in the UK. And he's currently back in Nigeria. By so doing, you've laid a pattern. Oh, I have a brother who has been out and he's also here. So these are arguments. These are ways you can use this to build pattern. Don't wait until that moment. You don't have that time. An average interview should last at least 7 minutes, unless you have more case to answer or more things to say. All right?
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Who is sponsoring your education?
My dad, Mr. Is the one sponsoring my education. You said we should not talk about what he's doing, right? We should not mention it.
Yeah. I don't need that because of the live streaming. So I don't want your personal information online. So your dad, period. You don't have to go. Yes, they may want to know, what does your dad do, and how much does he make annually and all that. That is all for you to answer. Then they will also want to know what you're doing. So you have to be able to connect this experience. Connect always, everybody here. If you are working, please connect your experience with what you want to go and study. And when you're connecting it, connect it in a way that you bring a case study, that you were, a case study of lack of experience or lack of knowledge or need for more information. Please avoid talking about there's a promotion. Education is not for promotion, as we have in Nigeria. They call it promotional exam. That is wrong. Education is for solving problem and providing solution. But you can use that way. You can talk about it in a way that it's to your own advantage. You can talk about, for instance, if you're working in the bank and you talk about yourself being promoted to a position, that position requires you to make decisions. In that way, you can talk about it that way. But don't say this program or this knowledge will help you to become the general manager of your company. That's not going to be okay. All right. Are you married? Do you have kids? Do you have dependents?
No, sir.
All right. So far, so good. Congratulations. So go back and review some of the things we talked about, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I hope this helps.
Yes, a lot, sir.
All right. Thank you. So, Victory, you are here?
Yes, sir.
Who else is going for interview tomorrow?
Me, sir. I have mine tomorrow morning.
Who else is going for tomorrow morning?
Okay, Chuku, sir.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is, Victory, when is your interview?
On the 15th of November.
November.
Yes, 15th.
Okay. Do you want to yield for someone going tomorrow? I know you've been here long, so that the person can go to bed. Okay.
I'm still here, sir.
Okay. Okay. Anthony, hold on. Let me finalize with that answer. You see, that answer is very technical. You didn't answer. you didn't answer yes or no. So let me address your case. I appreciate your prudence. So I'm going to address your case. Okay. All right. Let's go. Is this your first interview?
Yes, sir. It is.
Okay. Have you traveled out of the country before?
You just talked to me before, or are we repeating again?
Who am I talking to?
You're still calling Victory.
Have I interviewed you?
Yes, I just did mine now.
Please remove your hand now. I'm looking. Can you see me? See me, Wahala. Come on, your hand now.
Okay.
I saw your hand raised up. That's why I'm calling you.
I've been raised up before. Okay.
Please, can you bring down your hand? I've seen it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You see, I was even thinking. I don't memorize all this. So what I do is just once your hand is up, I know that you want to go. So I just pick from that. So if you have any other person who wants to go after Anthony, I'll be willing to take on any other person. So Anthony, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very great. How about you?
Great. Have you traveled out of the country before?
Yes.
Where and when?
I traveled to Italy in 2021.
How long were you in Italy?
Approximately 2 years.
What did you do in Italy?
I went for my international baccalaureate diploma program.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so in 2021, I got a fully funded scholarship.
You see the way you started? Please avoid that so. Go straight to the point. Make it in summary. Straight to the point, but in summary.
Okay.
The reason why I'm asking you this, it may come this way, it may not come this way. It's just for you to prepare your mind that your VO wants to know what you did in Italy. That would be a good background to why they may give you a visa, why they should give you a visa. So if you're able to establish this case strongly, that is going to be to your favor, I can assure you.
Okay.
So tell me about this program.
So The International Baccalaureate Program is a program for students for international students, mostly seeking admission in the United States. And I spent most of my time in Italy receiving effective training in journalism, which is the course I want to major in university, and is nutrients.
All right. So where are you traveling to?
I'm traveling to St. Olaf College in Minnesota.
What are you going there to do?
Traveling to major in journalism and minor in fine arts.
Tell me why you chose this course, or can you tell me why you chose this course, or what is so important to you about this course?
I have 3 reasons why I want to read journalism at St. Olaf College. Firstly, I always had an interest in creative writing as a child. This passion grew with me, which prompted me to participate and win in numerous essay and poetry winning contests here in Nigeria, which I've received many accolades for. This channeled my passion for journalistic writing even more. Secondly, my academic awards in writing aided me to get a fully funded scholarship in Italy, where I received effective training in journalistic writing and its nutrients. Thirdly, why I want to study journalism is because journalism in Nigeria lacks professionalism. For example, in the media disaster coverage, which is very prominent in cases like robbery, murder, and kidnapping, there is little or no information about these issues, though the insecurity in the country is on a high rise. I traveled all the way from Abuja to Lagos, where I witnessed many cars that have been damaged due to accidents on the road, but yet there was we expect little information on these events that occur in Nigeria because of the system is it's a ridicule. So this is why I feel like there is need for information. There is need for more attention to be given to these issues. There's need for more publications to be done. That's why I feel like Nigeria needs someone like me who has a passion in this field.
All right. So avoid using the word "I feel like." Be more assertive. That's why I want to. That's why I have to. Be more assertive. Okay.
Yes.
Don't use feeling. Feeling is uncertain. Use affirmative comments to express that, because this is a dream. And then when you talk about what you want, you mention fine arts, and then you mention journalism. You know, fine arts is also a component in journalism that you can also use you use creative drawings and the rest of them to integrate in your journalistic works. Have you thought about bringing that in?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so remember, find a way also when you're factoring that, remember to bring that in. Okay, find a way. If you when you're talking about it, find a way to factor drawings and how you can use, you are good with drawing as well, and in terms of how you can use creative drawings to articulate a story, use creative drawing to summarize a case. So these are part of journalism that is dying in our culture today. So think about how you can incorporate that into your case. Okay, then why did you choose this school?
Aside from the very attractive, fully funded scholarship I received in St. Olaf, my professors in Italy have recommended me for this school due to my best performance in creative writing. And I believe St. Olaf College has what it takes to make me a better writer and a bestseller author someday in the future.
Great. So now you've mentioned your school is fully funded, so I don't have to worry about asking you if it's fully funded. You see, you've solved that problem for me about who is about that angle. Then I may want to ask you, what does your parents do? You don't have to mention that here, for this is on live stream, so you don't have to mention that. So they may want to know, what does your parents do? Go straight to the point. They may want to ask you if you have any bank statement to that, Just make sure you have them available. They may want to know. So, when did you return from Italy?
I returned in May 2023.
Okay, so between May and August, May and September. So this makes sense. So the reason why I'm saying that is your VO is going to build a pattern. One, you have so many opportunities of getting a visa. First, you have a fully funded scholarship. Secondly, you have an opportunity to stay back in Italy, but you obeyed your visa status and came back to apply. So that's a credit for you. Then they may want to know, do you have any family member who has traveled overseas?
My mom travels to the UK.
Good.
Occasional.
Period. Your mom travels to the UK for, official work and all that. So all that is, a background. Now you've laid a foundation and your expressions are excellent. The confidence is wonderful and all that. This is all the VO needs to hear. They may want to ask you, how old are you? Assuming
19.
Okay, so they have this information, but I'm just asking you. So, you have every opportunity to get your visa. You have every opportunity to get your visa, but continue to maintain this confidence, continue to maintain your expressions, your explanations, use short and straight words, and everything will work well for you. Okay?
Thank you very much.
So far, I am confident that this is your time to shine. All right, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So I want to be called up tomorrow, with the good news. Okay.
Yes.
I pray that the good Lord will guide and guide your thoughts and sustain your wisdom and grant you favor tomorrow.
Amen.
And every other person who is going for tomorrow. All right. Do you have any questions so far?
No.
All right. So if you have a question, please hit me up on WhatsApp. And if you need to have anything you want to discuss, just hit me up and let me know on WhatsApp.
Sure.
All right. Congratulations. Do we have
Thank
any
you.
questions in the house? If you are ready for F2, I think I'm going to make an exception to take an F2. Otherwise, if you have anybody who is ready here for interview, please come up. Anthony, you can bring down your hand. You can also listen to other people. All right. All right. Gift and Olanrewaju, are you ready to go? Or you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Damilola, what is wrong with your network? You come in, you go out, you come in, you go out.
Yeah, it's because of my network. Basically.
Okay, because you've been here before these two, you've been here several times. So I'm gonna take on you now. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yes,
Gift and Olarunweju, I didn't mean you should run away. Keep your hands, please. Bring back your hand. Damilola was here when we started earlier. For some reason, she kept running back and forth. So let me just take on her, and then I'll take on two of you. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Are you ready?
Yes, please.
So is this your first interview?
No, this should be my second interview.
When was your last interview?
Interview was 21st of August 2023.
So what happened?
Well, I applied for F1 and F2 visa. Then I think I ran you through my transcripts then. I was the one with the sponsorship from the organization that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
I had the interview at Abuja, but basically I could not pick on what went wrong actually. I don't know that. Maybe probably because we're applying as couple at the same time. Maybe there was not enough strong ties.
Do you want to go back to it? So right now you're applying as a couple again.
No.
Why did you back out on that? They shook you and you ran.
Now, basically, because even if I'll be resuming by January. My school already offered an online, because I have about 15 credits that I can, that is allowable for residential students. And I've registered for that. I'll be starting class soon. However, the updated I-20 will be for January 2024. And at that point in time, my husband will not be available to go with me.
Yeah, but it still doesn't stop him from getting visa. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
He can get a visa and still come back.
When I won't be having the interview in Nigeria.
How do you mean you won't be having the interview in Nigeria?
Yeah, I chose another embassy because presently I left already.
Where are you at the moment, if I may ask?
Sierra Leone.
Okay, so you'll be interviewing from Sierra Leone.
Yes, please.
Okay, now there might be. Sometimes they may want to know why they may want to look at it from, okay, so you were denied in Nigeria and then you went to Sierra Leone. Why did you do that? Sometimes they can do that if they want to pick on you.
Yes. I'm not just in Sierra Leone for the interview. I actually applied for a fellowship program through my organization, which I was selected, is for West African countries. And I've been selected to join and participate for the fellowship program in Sierra Leone. It's meant to be a 6 weeks fellowship program, 2 weeks online, and 4 weeks on site. So I'm presently there for the on-site fellowship program.
And this is in line. This is coming from your school.
No, not from my school.
Yeah. So if this has nothing to do with your school, so the reason why you are in Sierra Leone is connected to your job.
Yes, please.
And because you're going to be there at this particular period, that's why you shifted your interview to Sierra Leone. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you're right.
All right. So that makes more sense. So be ready to explain that in case if they suspect.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she's running. So we bounced you here. You jumped the other. You think sometimes they may just want to refer you go back to your home country and do it. So when they come with that, you tell them that the reason why you are here was not even because of the visa, that you came here because of a program, but because it's clashed with the program you came for. That's why you decided to put it there instead of running back to Abuja. You decided to have it there. All right.
Yes.
All right. So that will make more sense to look at it that way. I know they speak French there. Tu parles français?
No, I do not.
Okay. So I'm sure they should have English speakers in that area. So let's go back to your case. Why they denied you? I would have liked if you remained consistent with your husband joining you as F2. Okay. So the reason why they denied you, do you want to talk about it? So we can heal it before we begin.
Yes. Besides probably a strong home tie, although we're able to demonstrate that, aside from the fact that we are a young couple, we are yet to have children or kids. My husband has an establishment of 6 years here, and he co-manages our family business. So I don't think that was the reason why we were denied. However,
you're not answering the question. You're not answering what I asked.
I'm saying.
So during the interview, there usually has to be an area that they focused on. or that an area that you feel you didn't answer well or you didn't respond well? That's what I'm asking.
We've actually talked about it. Immediately I had my denial. We discussed about it, but then I could not really point because it was more like a conversation between us, and it was long. Only for the last question,
which is,
I don't know if you can remember.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many people I talked to? So don't put me on the spot.
You might not remember.
I don't.
The
I'm sorry.
Plan. The post-study plan.
Okay.
Where I responded that I'll be coming back to my organization to take up a senior role.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me that it would have been because of that, because for us to have had a longer conversation, the VO was ready to give the visa, but he could not find enough convincing points based on my study plan.
Yes. And you remember I always talk about people talking about promotion and roles instead of when I condemn people I condemn the idea of using blanket statements. When they ask you certain questions, break it down. Instead of talking about role, talk about your responsibility in that role. You see the difference? Instead of talking about senior role of being the executive chairman, talk about what that chairman does in that position. That's what they are looking for. A solution based or a problem solving kind of stuff. So have you learned a lesson from your experience?
Yes, I have.
All right, let's go. So where are you traveling to?
I'm traveling to George Washington University at Washington, D.C.
What's your interest for this trip?
Well, I will be studying Master's in Public Health degree with concentration in maternal and child health.
Now I remember you, and I told you your course was you were supposed to get a visa.
Yes.
So why did you choose this course?
I chose public health for a couple of reasons. To start with,
can you break down the reason? Not couple of reasons. Couple of reasons. I don't know when this is going to stop. Can you break it down? Be more specific.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't play that. Don't play that. Don't play that. Okay. Be careful.
Stop at number 10.
Be careful. You don't have all the time. Go ahead.
Okay, I chose public health for three main reasons. To start with, I chose public health because of my deep fascination during my undergraduate days as a Mandela Washington Young African Leaders Initiative Network member, where I participated in community health programs, and seeing the transformative effects of this health program bringing about improved health outcomes and general family well-being made me more interested in public health. Aside from that, being a physician, I am exposed to majority of maternal and child health disparities in our local community. Hold
on. What is your job? What do you do?
Okay. How do I put it? I'm a public health physician, medical doctor.
Oh my goodness. Do you know you are not supposed to lose a visa? Like, are you kidding me? I told you, now I'm remembering. Listen, you have to save yourself from talking this too much talk is what is spoiling. You are pouring, what is it called again? You are playing reggae inside your blues. Can you save yourself from too much talk? Now you gave a description. I asked you, why did you choose this course? You saved all the juicy information. Start with, I'm a medical doctor, specialized in public health. I've majored in this area. Talk about the areas you've done some case studies. Period. Why do you need to hide that you're a medical doctor, my sister? Huh? Kilo Shele. Oh my goodness. Why do you need to keep that information away? You are begin with that. You are a medical
I was
doctor.
going to mention it.
You don't have to save it. That's the first thing you should begin with. Why did you choose this course? I'm a medical doctor. I'm a medical doctor, specialized in public health. And for how long have you been working as a medical doctor?
For 3 years.
Okay. For the past 3 years, I've worked in this area, as that. And having been working in this area, lots of information, lots of nutrients, lots of talk about the new case studies that you've encountered. You are the one who knows all this.
Okay.
There are 1,001 case studies that you can use. I work in the hospital, so I understand the drills. Talk about case studies. Use those case studies as a leverage. This will save you all the energy that you need to use. Don't keep them. I know there are also medical doctors here. When I'm talking to all of you. When you start talking, start with that your profession. Especially people in the medical industry. Please start with that profession. If you're a medical doctor listening to me, please, I'm begging you, start with that profession. When they ask you, why did you choose this course? Begin with that. If you're in the medical industry, I am this. This is part of the case studies I've dealt with is 1, 2, 3. I dealt with this case and I was not able to solve this problem, or I solved this problem, but I don't have all the relevant information to be able to handle it better or do better with it. Hence the reason why I'm choosing this course, to upgrade my experience and my knowledge so as to be able to serve and service my patients. Then you can talk about that public health area. It's a big issue in Nigeria. What is public health suffering in Nigeria today? How are you going to be able to solve a problem in the public health using your pragmatic history, your excellence, your background? This is what they are looking for. No long grammar. Save yourself long grammar. Did you hear what I said? I know you heard me, but I'm asking,
Yes,
did you hear? Does it make sense? No matter how small?
Yes, it does.
Please.
No, it's not small actually. This area basically is very big, honestly.
Good.
Because if I have to talk about why public health with this same approach that you have given to me, then I'll have to break it down to maternal and child health problems.
You don't need to. The reason why I'm saying that is your profession precedes you. Your case is, these are body language experts. They treat every case as unique. You are a medical doctor. You have worked in the industry for 3 years. The background you have precedes you. As a medical doctor, you see all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
All you need to do is just to cite one case study or two and leave it that way. You don't have to bring everything. They already know the background you are coming from. So the problem you're having is you'll be like, oh, there's so many areas. Let me touch all of them. You can't touch all of them. And by the time you try to touch all of them, you lose the big point. It's called claiming your authority. Claim your authority right now. That is what I want you to do in this case.
Okay.
Claim your authority and assert your medical functioning. That's what you need to do. All right?
Yes, please.
Thank you. That's why I'm not happy that your husband gave up. I'm not really happy, but that's fine. That's your both decision. So I want you to go back to this video when we finish talking and revise and listen to me talking. I don't mean to be hard on you, but I'm just pissed off. Pissed off, like is a holy pissed off. Holy pissed off because people who are supposed who are supposed to get things didn't get it, not because you don't have what it takes to do it, but you went there to speak grammar. You don't need grammar because you have your presence.
Honestly, sir, I'm not saying this to defend myself. I just felt that day the pressure was high, and I was very close to my date of resumption. That's another thing.
God. Please, if you are here and you are going for any interview and you have any tension choking you, please, can you cast it and bind it right now? Please, anything. You see, between you and that VO, that is what matters at that moment. Okay, now that you went there and this woman bounced you, do you still remember that you have a closing date? It doesn't matter, because the most important thing that mattered to you should have been what you should have faced that moment. All right, let's say you have taken a lesson from that experience. Please go back to this video and take lessons from what we just discussed now.
Okay.
Take a lesson from it. Save yourself the energy of talking too much. Press yourself, abbrace yourself with your medical functioning. Claim your authority as a medical doctor. This will save you the energy. Why did you choose this course? I chose it because I'm a medical doctor. I've been practicing for the past 3 years. This part of the cases that I've dealt with, you mention it in the areas of public health. You talk about it. It's a big issue here. You pick 1 or 2 cases and talk about how you were not able to handle it, or how your limited experience or knowledge was not able to address it. This is what your VOs are looking for. Please. Okay?
Yes, please.
And this time around, you are getting that visa. You are getting it. Otherwise, I'll call your husband and say, Kilo shilling, okay? All right. So, why did you choose this school?
I chose George Washington University for 3 main reasons. To start with, I chose George Washington University because it offers a distinctive public health as opposed to other schools that I applied to. That is to say that George Washington University offers a specific program in maternal and child health, and I believe that the knowledge that I gain from this study will also refine my skill in the realm of maternal and child health population in Nigeria.
Hello?
I'm with you, sir.
Long talk. You have the information, but you're making it longer.
Okay.
I'm going to take you back again. First of all, do you have a scholarship?
Yes, I do.
How much?
It's 23,000
out of
50.
Okay. All right. So, when they ask you why did you choose this school, do you have any reference? Did anybody refer you to this school?
Yes.
Who is that? You belong to a
My
profession.
executive director.
You belong to a professional body. Why don't you start with that? Why did you choose this school? I chose this school because of the references I got from my executive director, who was a former a former student of this school. He is an epitome that you are emulating, or a kind of mentor at work. Sorry, a mentor at work that you emulate, that you want to, copy his trends. Then, secondly, you remember your bullet point. Secondly, you chose this course because, based on your excellent academic records and the research you presented, you have to have a research you're working on, an issue, something you wrote either on your master's degree, something a case study. Based on your excellent research, you were awarded a scholarship to the tune of, you mentioned it, and covering whatever it's covering. Then the third reason, you now go back to the school. You chose this school because now, where you're mentioning now, you talk about this area that you're mentioning as the third reason. You have to give yourself credit for your excellence. You earn it, and you have to give it to yourself. So the third reason is where you now mention, what this school has that you want to borrow this, you want to take this knowledge or acquire this knowledge to be able to apply in Nigeria. Or you can apply it to your organization, the organization you're working in Nigeria. Talk about this trend that this school has, a special thing that this school has. Don't say so much about the school. Talk about yourself. Because the mistakes that most candidates do is that they want to celebrate school and they fail to talk about themselves. Please avoid that trouble. Talk about you. You are the candidate. Forget about school. When you go there, talk about the school in such a way that, yes, this school has this knowledge based on their excellent rating or whatever they are doing, but you are picking this knowledge to be able to solve this problem you have in your organization. Then talk about a case study again. It doesn't matter if you use same case study, but you have to use a case study when you are talking about the problem that this school is helping you to solve. That is what your VO wants to hear. And that problem has to be in the area of this public health now. Period.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. When is your interview? What date?
It's towards the end of September. I've not chosen
Okay.
a date.
All right. So before then, we'll have to circle back, okay?
Yes, please.
All right. So, who is covering for the deficit of your program?
My organization, that's Sage and Edmund
Don't
Foundation.
you don't have to mention the organization because this is live streamed.
Okay.
So your organization is covering it. So it's also a good point for you. Okay. So
Yes,
now that you see why I always mention, bring out your juice first. Don't save it behind. I'm just learning now that your organization is covering you, is sponsoring you. Here in the US, organizations sponsor you. When an organization is sponsoring you, it simply means like, oh, it carries a big weight, bigger than that of your parents. So big organization is investing in you to help them solve a problem. It's called human capital investment. If an organization is sponsoring you, it carries a big weight. So simply means when you be talking about why did you choose a school? I chose this school. First of all, you mentioned the reference from your organization, reference from your managing director, who also recommended the organization to, sponsor you. Or you mention it when you are mentioning your scholarship, or you mention it at the end. You have to add maybe another 4th bullet point because your organization has, a relationship with, your school has a relationship with former alumni, or your school has, your organization has alumni from that school. That is why they are investing a lot on their staff members, to attend to that same school. These are areas to buttress your points. So these are important points. Don't just think that they are not important. What your VOs are doing is to build a pattern. They put all these things together to be able to assess your ties. Okay? That's enough tie. The fact that your organization is investing in you is a tie. So take advantage of it. All right?
Yes, please.
Then, so your organization is sponsoring you fully funded, right? The remaining deficit.
Yes, please.
Okay, so what else? You have a fully covered, fully funded scholarship. You are not supposed to be go there and come back without a visa. Please, no story this time around. Save that long conversation. Go straight to the point. Okay?
Yes.
So I already know you are married. You mentioned that earlier, and I'm sure the VO will see that. They may want to ask you about why is your husband not joining you this time, or will he be joining you later? You can say yes, he will. But I always encourage people to be consistent. If I knew before now, I would have asked you guys to try it again instead of giving up. But all the same,
Okay.
there is nothing bad. But if you still have an opportunity to continue to add him, please do so. If you don't, there's no problem. But if a question comes out of it, just be able to defend yourself. Why he's not joining.
Okay.
All right, and why he'll be joining later.
Okay.
All right, so far so good. Thank you and congratulations. All right. Hello.
Thank you so much. Yes.
You kept
Hello,
quiet.
Richie, I can hear you.
Yeah. Are you? Are you?
No, I did not. I said thank you so much.
Okay. I just
I'm
want.
happy.
Okay. So remember, just save yourself from that explanation, long conversation. Pick all your juicy points and write straight. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, I will do that.
All right. Thank you.
so much.
You're welcome. Gift, your hand has been up all along. Do we have any questions before I go with Gift? Gift, you should be the next, or Alani. Who should be the next? Who should be the next? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, so who is next? Okay. Okay. When is your date? Gift and Ola, who is first? Who is first?
This is Gift, sir. This is Gift, sir.
Okay. All right. So so when is your interview?
For now, my interview is not yet closed. I'm
Okay.
still looking at next year.
All right. So is this your first interview?
Yes, sir.
Where are you traveling to?
Indiana State University, Bloomington.
Have you traveled out of the country before?
No, sir.
What are you going there to do?
For my master's program, Environmental Science Sustainability.
What did you do in your first degree?
Environmental Science and Resources Management.
What are you doing currently?
I work as a Sustainable Procurement Officer.
All right. So why did you choose this course?
I chose this course for 3 reasons. Because one, for the reference I got from one of my colleagues, he went to Indiana University to study and he's back to the country.
Hold on. Do you understand what I asked?
Yes, sir.
What did I ask?
Why did I choose this course? What was the purpose of the course? What did I want to do with the course?
No, there are two different things. You see, I hope everybody is listening. I asked, why did you choose this course? I want you to, after this meeting, go back. There's a YouTube video I made yesterday, and it has to do with questions like who, what, why, when, and where. You need to, when you follow that video, you see how I presented it. I think it's the first 15 minutes of that clip. You see how I presented it, and these are some of the mistakes that people make. Very subtle mistake. I asked you, why did you choose this course? And then you start talking about purpose. You start talking about a reference. Nobody refers you to a course. The course, the dream for choosing a course comes from your decision, from you. Nobody can refer you to choose a course. Does it make sense now?
Yes, sir.
So these are very subtle but very important. And if I'm a VO, I ask you this question and you answered me this way, that's the end of that interview. It simply means you don't even know why you chose that course. So it's better that we have it now, that I picked it up so we can address it right now.
Okay, sir.
Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why did you choose this course?
Okay, I chose this course because of the passion I have for environmental sustainability. And one, for 3 reasons. A passion for environmental sustainability. Second is about the oil and gas
pollution we have here in Nigeria. And thirdly, about the research I made in my undergraduate school, the research I made in my undergraduate about pollution control in the River Nile area.
What course did you say you're going to study?
Environmental sustainability.
When they ask you this question, you are going for environmental sustainability. Can you tell me more about this environmental sustainability? Such questions can come up. Can you tell me about environmental sustainability?
When we talk about environmental sustainability means how we control or how we put in place controls to control the environment to make sure the climate change or the pollution does not affect human interaction.
Can you come again?
Environmental sustainability means the control in place in which we use to control human interaction with the environment so that the environment can be a safe place for us to live.
Okay. Environmental sustainability deals with balance, putting a balance, maintaining a balance in the ecological system on the planet. All right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So it's simply the ability to maintain an ecological balance in our planet's natural environment and conserve natural resources to support the well-being of current and future generations. The reason why I'm saying this is your ability to understand what you're doing, what you are going for, is an advantage for you. When you're talking, some of you say, "Oh, I'm talking and she's typing." Sometimes they just go, while you're talking, they type. They go online and they're like the one you have in your cyber cafe. It goes straight. They put in that in and be reading and be looking at what you're saying. And they find discrepancy in your presentation and in your definition. They'd be like, "Oh, where is this one going?" So do your research very well when you are coming to present. Don't say, "Okay, this is what they are going to ask me." Think like you don't know where it's going to come. So you prepare yourself, especially with regard to that course you're about to study. So you are going for environmental sustainability, which puts a balance in the ecosystem. What did you major in your first degree?
Environmental science and resources management.
Good. And what are you doing currently?
I work as a sustainability procurement officer.
Okay. Now, can you merge these three areas as a reason why you chose this course? You majored in this area in your first degree, and having been working in this area for the past, how many years now have you been working there?
For the past 4 years.
For the past 4 years, having been working in this area, you lack the relevant knowledge to be able to carry out your function as an environmental manager or an environmental specialist. Hence the reason why you want to upgrade your experience and your knowledge in this area to be able to solve problems. Talk about these problems. Anything you're going to present as a reason why you are choosing a course, please break it down, everybody. Break it down. Don't say she will understand or he will understand. Even if they do, they want you to say it. That's one thing I want to highlight. Once you mention an area, please break it down. Talk about that problem you want to solve. Use a case study. Pick a case study in your office that's something that came up that you want to solve as a problem. This is what your VOs are waiting for. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
So I want you to go back to this video and review it and see what we are going to, what I was pointing at. Secondly, make sure you know exactly what your field of study, environmental ecology, make sure you know what it means. Environmental sustainability. please make sure you understand what it means. And if you are presenting it because they may want to, okay, tell me about this course. What is so important about it? You can do that. Link it with what you did in the past, what you're doing currently, and what you plan to do. And talk about it in a way that in Nigeria, we have all these ecological problems. We have all these ecological problems. Currently, there's a problem in Nigeria coming up. You heard about the dam that they want to close. That is a problem in environmental sustainability, right? You talk about
it's open already. The dam is open already.
Okay, good. So these are cases. These are cases that you can pick. These are cases. I don't know if your office is handling that. These are cases that you can talk about and use it to shine. So think about it. Think about what I'm telling you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Pick real case study and talk about it as if it is your own matter. Appropriate it, acquire it, personalize that case and present it to your VO. That's what they want to hear. Then, if I ask you, why did you choose this school?
Okay, the reason why I chose this school are for 3 reasons. One, I got a reference from one of my colleagues, which has gone to the school and is back to the country, and which is also into environmental management, specialized in waste control. Secondly, because the school has a lot of research.
Hold on, hello. I don't want you to dwell more on that person. They are not speaking for your case. Simple. Right. I chose this course because of a reference from one of the students who is also my colleague, or a colleague of mine who was a former student of that school. You enjoy the way he works. He is a professional that you want to be like. He made a good reference and you want to pick it. Just a small hint. What you are doing by doing that is to lay a pattern. A pattern in the sense that if you have a friend who has been here and come back and he's your colleague, that means if I give you a visa, you're going to do the same. But don't dwell on that. Just like I will not want you to dwell on school. So that is one. Reference. Which other one?
Because the school has a lot of research on environmental sustainability and climate change. And they want the best in...
No, that is not necessary. Okay. I want you to pick cases, issues that are going to help your point. First of all, you talk about reference. Secondly, talk about your scholarship. Give yourself credit for that scholarship. So talk about it. Okay?
All right, sir.
So talk about your scholarship in such a way that it solves your problem. Then the third issue is talk about this school, what they have done in the past, how that thing they have done in the past is in line with your plan, like your case study. So you use case study in 2 ways, when you are talking about the school and when you're talking about your plan. I mean, why you chose the course. So you talk about that case study when you're talking about a school. Talk about it in such a way that this school has this program that helps to solve this problem, and that is why you're going there to acquire this knowledge to be able to apply it in your industry. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I hope, does it help?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it does.
Okay. So who is paying for the remaining deficit of your program?
My sponsor, sir.
You see, this is the problem. I always tell people, I ask you who is paying for your program, and you are giving me a sponsor. Everybody, can you just understand what is going on?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Do you know how I will feel as your VO when you tell me my sponsor?
Yeah, there's no name on it, yeah. Understand.
It's not because there's no name. You're hiding something. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
These are common mistakes that people make. Somebody knows, yeah, I know it's your sponsor that is sponsoring it. And I asked you, who is paying for it? The word is who. I need you to go to that video I made yesterday and get these questions about who, what, when, why, where. So you see how they are being applied. I asked you who, and you said your sponsor. Who is your sponsor?
Okay, Mr. Steve Olorum.
No. Don't mention name. Oh God. No personal information. Who is this sponsor to you?
He's my mentor, that's all.
Okay. So he's your mentor. Fine.
Yes.
I want you to go back to that video and look at it again. I made it yesterday. It will help you to answer these questions. So you don't, because this area where they talk about funding, they take it very seriously. And it's not an area where you come and you start shaking your mouth. You start playing Maradona. They'll ask you who. Do you say it's my sponsor? They ask you who is your sponsor. You start saying, please avoid that. Okay. And when they ask you who is your sponsor, please identify the sponsor, your relationship with the sponsor. That's what they want to know. They are looking for the relationship. Your mentor in what way? Okay. Break down the relationship. They want to know the relationship of your relationship with this person. Define it. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you can go back to this video later and follow up with this conversation if it will help. It might help you to review some of the things I've been saying here. Then, are you married? Do you have kids? Do you have dependents?
No, sir.
All right. So, so far, congratulations. If you can work on some of these things I mentioned, don't put your VOs on the spot. You see that question I asked you about who is sponsoring, who is paying for your program, and you said sponsor, please, that's putting them on the spot.
Okay, sir.
You don't want to push them that way. You push them that way, they bounce on you, and it's gonna always be to your own disadvantage. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next person. Do we have any B1, B2 here? I want to take one B1, B2. Hello? B1, B2?
Yes.
All right. Are you ready? Can we take one?
Yeah, I think she raised her hand.
Your network is bad. Oh my goodness. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, so
Yes, I can.
your B1, B2?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want to make an exception on this platform. So B1, B2. So your own case will be different. Okay, so let me begin. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where are you traveling to today?
I'm traveling to Virginia.
Have you traveled out of the country before?
Charlottesville. Yes, I have. I've been to Kenya in 2020.
What did you go to do?
I went for a conference, the Association of the Nephrologists.
No, hold on. So allow them to prompt you. You have all your information filled up in the DS-160. The reason why Kenya will not highlight so much because normally there are classes in terms of visa status. The higher the security and the visa processing, the more rating a visa processing has. For instance, for you to apply to UK visa and Canadian visa, it takes a lot of security processing. So that makes those visas class A. Visa for Ireland, class A. Italy, class A. But Kenya is not class A because I can comfortably enter Cameroon by car, drive through Ghana, drive through Equatorial Guinea, drive through Central Africa, and I enter Kenya without anybody spotting me. And I can even decide not to stamp on my passport. The reason why I'm saying this is how they look at it. It has nothing to do with you. You get what I'm saying? So this is how they
Yes, sir.
classify visas. So because you mentioned Kenya, two things: either the VO will want to know what you went there to do, or they'll just waive it. Okay, they will just waive it because of the visa rating. Then I would they will want to definitely know, what do you do for a living and why are you going to this place? So if you don't mind, why are you traveling to the United States?
Okay, I'm an optometrist with the Fairgrove Medical Center, FMC Umahia.
Hold on. Can you save me your personal information? Don't bring it up, okay? Just mention the things I asked you. Keep personal information out of this conversation because this is streamed live. But so keep personal information out of this. So I'll go back again. Why did you pick what are you going to the United States to do this time?
I'm going for a conference of with Virginia Optometric Association. I'm an optometrist.
Okay, so
I'm presently running a master's program in my state, and I want to use the opportunity to meet with other colleagues with regards to my research work.
okay. Now, this is all I need from you. What I do is to get your information and be able to process your information. Now I've gotten what I need to process. First of all, what are you going to the United States to do? I am an optometrist. I'm going for a conference, right? I'm going for a conference. So you have to present, like I told the other medical doctor, Demilola, I told you this. Your background precedes you. You have to flag that out immediately. I am a medical doctor or an optometrist. I'm going for this conference, which is in line with my course of study. You know, what's it called again? So let me backtrack again. So what are you going to the US to do? I'm an optometrist. We have a meeting or we have a conference in this area, which is an area that I'm measuring in my master's degree. So I want to, just stop at that. I'm an optometrist. I'm going for a conference in Virginia or whatever place it is, for a conference, which is an area in an area where I'm specialized or an area where I'm currently having my master's in. Period. So either you stop at I'm an optometrist, I'm going for a conference, you mention what the conference is all about, and as an area that you are measuring in or an area that you are doing your research in. Period. Don't talk much about that. The questions will now come. The next question would now maybe, do you have a family member overseas or do you have anybody there? I don't know how you're going to present it. Or they may ask, yeah, I'm coming. Or they may ask you, who is paying for your trip? Or are you married? So I want to bring all this background. Your own case is different because you belong to the medical field. So let's pick them one after the other. Are you married?
Yes, I am married with 4 kids.
With 2 kids. And
4.
Okay, 4 kids. Okay.
Yes.
So, where are your kids at the moment?
In my state.
Okay, you don't have to mention that. Thank you. So they are back home. And what about your husband? Why is he not? Is he traveling with you?
No, he's in US.
Okay. Now remember, they have all this information, but sometimes they will just want to throw those information at you. They may want to know the status of your husband's stay in the US. It's also very important. They may want to know what is his status. Do you have access to that?
Yes, he's running a exchange program with the University of Virginia too.
Okay. Now, how long has he been in the US? When did he travel?
3 months now.
Okay,
And he has.
the reason why they ask how long or when to assess whether he has violated his visa status. So how long has he traveled? When did he travel?
Traveled in June.
In June.
Just
So
been 3 months now.
okay, so he's still fresh. He traveled 3 months ago. And so the next question would be, so now they have established. So what does he do in the US?
He's in the medical field. He went for an exchange program.
That's not an answer. What does your husband do in the US? Simple, go straight to the point. You told me you're an optometrist. So if he's a medical doctor, state it, he's a medical doctor.
You said that. I was just trying to not to give the whole information.
No,
Okay,
there are moments when you have to go straight to the point, and this is one of those moments, because these things are creating pattern for you. The VO is building a pattern. Who is this kind of person? 3 months ago he traveled. He's running an exchange program. Yes, exchange program could be for medical doctors, but why don't you say it? Give credit to that. So it tallies with you. It builds a pattern with you coming, because one, he's still fresh. He has not violated his visa status, and you are also coming as a visitor. Or are you coming as an F2?
No, as a visitor.
So why didn't you take advantage of F2? Why didn't you apply as F2? This question may come up.
I just want to visit for 2 weeks and leave, because I just have my annual leave is close by, and it's also coinciding with the conference I want to attend.
All right. Now, if they ask you that question, your answer is okay, but I want you to take it this way. When they ask you why didn't you apply for F2, you talk about, you take it to your own advantage. The reason why you didn't apply for F2 was because you are busy with work. You are very busy as an optician, and you wouldn't have all the time to be traveling. But because of this conference, you just believe that, okay, sorry, the reason why you didn't apply for F2 is because you know that conferences always come up, that you can always use that, take advantage of the conference, instead of you didn't see any need for that because of your busy schedule. So by so doing, you are not straining that you are not interested. You are also not saying that you are so much keen to travel. They already know your background, that you're busy as an optician. They already know that, oh, you want to travel because you have your spouse over there, but you have an open opportunity that you can use, but you just want to use B1, B2. So by so doing, you just went into the mid lane. You didn't take on this side, you didn't take on this side. So the reason why I'm saying it is, in case it comes up that they may ask you, why didn't you apply for B1, B2, which will give you a bigger opportunity to travel or back and forth. But because you are busy, because you live in Nigeria, because you live you take care of the kids while your husband is away, that makes more sense. All right. Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing with you. I'm hearing with you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Then how long is his program?
His program is gonna be, he'll be running up by December.
Is he planning?
6 months.
Is he planning to come back? Is he planning to return back to Nigeria?
Yes.
Okay. So these are some of the questions that they may just want to poke, to just know. And when they ask this question, throw humor into it. Yeah, of course. If he doesn't come back, I'll make sure. I'll make sure, like, throw in some humor when they throw that kind of question. Is he coming back? Of course he will. Of course he's coming back. He has no reason that to come back, and like, bring in some humor into that kind of conversation. So it's always very interesting to make it conversational when some of the conversations come up. It helps you to ease the tension, and it helps the VO to understand, because they build all these patterns from your background. You have a very important job in Nigeria. Your husband has a very important job, and your specification, you have no reason not to get a visa. Okay. And if they ask who will be sponsoring this program, who will be sponsoring this trip?
My husband will go.
Okay. And how long did he work? How long did he work as a medical doctor in Nigeria?
Work for over almost 15 years.
Okay.
He's a consultant.
Good. Please. You see, the juice is coming. Please, can you bring up this thing when they ask you this question? Don't keep it behind. Madam.
I was just
you are laughing.
You know, when you said you don't want personal information because it's live.
Yeah, personal information does not stop you from saying he's a medical consultant. He's a consultant medical. I don't know how you guys put it. He's a consultant medical practitioner. You present that. That you give him that function. What is it called? Claim that authority. Yeah, claim that authority so that they will understand the person you are going to see and your background too. How long have you been an optician?
For over 13 years.
Good. So
presently, I'm a senior optometrist.
Oh, so these are juicy information, that background you have to talk about. In case if they want to engage you in your field, bring up your experience, your level, your years of experience into it in a very subtle way. Don't make it like a long conversation, because all this information, they might look like, oh, they're not important, but they're very important in arguing for your case, in arguing for this conference you're going for. And if they ask you, what would this conference do for you?
The conference will help me in the research I'm doing presently. Presently, I'm an MSc student with our state university here where I live. I'm running on the pattern of tear film production in kidney patients with stages 3 to 4. So I hope to meet with other of my colleagues that are working in the same field to share ideas and also get something that I'll come back home to help me to round up my research. As I have a private clinic and I'm working with the federal government too, with all the information and everything I'll get over there, it will really help me, my work.
All right. So now there's another information coming up now. You just mentioned you have a private clinic. So these are backgrounds that you have to uplift when you are talking about your identity. When they ask you, what are you going to the US to do? You are traveling for a conference. You are an optician or an optometrist, and you are going for this conference to, equip yourself with better knowledge to serve and service your patients in the area. Then 2 things they're going to do is your interview may not last up to 5 minutes. If they want to engage you in conversation, then you can bring all these things up. If the person doesn't want to engage you, then keep it. But remember to mention your years of service so that they will know that they are not dealing with small picking. 2, involve your private practice and your federal background in terms of your practice. These are information that sometimes people think they are not important. There are moments when you have to overtalk. It's not overtalk, but the information will be pleading for your case. There are moments when you don't need to mention that, but in your own specification is important. All right? All right?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't have to write. Well, you can write if you want, but you can go back to this video on 1 hour and 29 minutes and review all this conversation and see how we're able to look at this particular analysis. I don't know if you have any questions or anybody has any question. And you can always revert to me if you have any questions regarding this.
Okay, sorry. I
made a little mistake when I was filling. I don't know if that was a mistake. I don't know. My passport is for my DS-160. It has a red background, and I just realized it was supposed to be white. I don't know.
What do you mean by red background?
The passport on the DS-164.
On red background, the one you posted,
Yes.
the one you uploaded.
They uploaded, yes.
Did the system reject it?
No.
Then you shouldn't worry about.
No.
Then you shouldn't worry about it. Just print the next one, the one you'll be attending to the interview with. Print, have the extra copy. I think it's about 2 or so. I think it's 2. 2 by 2, right? So with white background. So just print another one. If the system didn't reject it, then you shouldn't worry about that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If the system, normally that system has a photo cropping software. Once you put on a picture, it will either reject it or it will tell you it's too bright, it's too dark, all those things. If all those things went through and the picture wasn't rejected, then you shouldn't worry yourself. Normally, you know that it's a white background. So when you get there, you can tell them that you mistakenly uploaded a red background. I wonder how a red background on a passport will look like. So so because that system is white, and then the background, I'm just wondering how it will look like when you printed it. Otherwise, I would not want you to mess. When is your interview?
Next week, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I would not want you to just go and start messing up with your stuff. So just print a fresh one with white background and go to the embassy. They will collect those ones from you. All right.
Okay. Actually, I know they must really ask me because I've actually been denied before now.
Because of?
They said I don't have strong ties of coming back or something. That was in 2018.
2018.
Yes.
And you were still in this industry?
A lot has changed between 2018 and now, actually.
What has changed? It's good that you brought it up.
Yeah, then I was working on a contract. But right now, I'm a full staff, and I have also been promoted. I'm running a master's program now.
Yeah. Okay, you are a student.
No, I'm a staff.
No. What I'm saying is, you said you are running a master's program. Are you a student, or you are
a PG student? Yes.
Okay, you're a student. So always remember that you're a student, which is a tie, and the biggest chunk of it is that you have your husband right now in the US. Okay, you are going to visit him. How long have you been married?
12 years.
Good. Now, make sure you have all the documentations to show that your children's picture, family group pictures, and all that. Make sure you have all the certificates. They may not need all this, but in case, if it comes to talking, then that is a big change that he is there now. And, you guys haven't been away like this for long. So it makes more sense that, you're coming and the kids are back home. All right. They may want to know.
I actually intend I'll be with the last one with me on the interview.
Okay, you're traveling. How old is the last one?
She's 3.
And the oldest?
The oldest is 11 plus.
No, you're a mother. You have to mention
Yes,
how old she is, not plus. Think about that.
Okay.
When they ask you how old,
I know he will be 12 by May next year.
Good.
I know.
Yeah. So go straight to the point. When they ask you, only men use 11 plus, maybe 6 plus. Women say it the way it is. He's 11 weeks, 12 months. Like,
Okay.
you get what I'm saying?
He's 11, 4 months.
Exactly. So that's how mothers talk about the age of their children. They know it by head, like they know it off by heart. They say it that way. There's no guesswork. Men do guesswork. So when they ask you about the ages of your children, remember to mention them. They may want to know if you truly memorize all that, just to build on the pattern. So you may say, okay, wanted to establish what has changed. Your husband is here, and you've advanced a lot in terms of your career, in terms of your ties. But save yourself the long talk. Focus on the reason why you're going for this trip. You're going for a conference, but it becomes a suspicion. There's a suspicion there. Did you notice the suspicion?
Going with it, baby?
No. Why is your husband in the US and then you're going for a conference and you're not going to see your husband?
No.
Can you answer that question?
Then, when I wanted to answer that by giving you a bullet, but you stopped me.
Okay.
Because I have like 4 reasons why I'm going on this. I want to embark on this trip.
All right, tell me.
Okay.
Because it looks like I'm squeezing all the information out. So the reason why I'm saying this is, as a VO, they will be like, 1, why didn't you want to apply for F2 if your husband is doing his F1? 2, why is he in the US and instead of applying?
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So the second question is, why is he in the US? Instead of applying to come and see him, you are applying to go for a conference. So which one is the primary reason why you're going to the US? Is it because of your job to go for a conference or to see your husband? These are arguments that you really need to convince your VO about. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so I want you to just give me what you have so that we can tackle it. Okay. If we can't do that here, since you still have time, I can put both of you on a WhatsApp call so we can talk about it. Would that be comfortable for you?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, so that you can bear yourself out, because it looks like after I mentioned this is stream live, you shut down. So
okay.
I want to give you that benefit of doubt. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. So maybe I can leave it till then.
All right.
Oh, you still want me to talk? Okay.
Well, it's up to you. You are the one. You are the principal now. If you want us to adjourn, we adjourn. Then we reconvene. I'm off tomorrow, and I don't know. You're going to work tomorrow, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I won't be going tomorrow.
All right. Otherwise, we can reconvene later this evening. But I know it's very late in Nigeria.
I wouldn't mind, sir.
Okay, good. So, your husband is here, I believe. So we can always catch up. He's been in the US. We have maybe different time zone, maybe an hour ahead of me. So I can always catch on him. You are the one I'm pitying because of late hour. So
I won't be going to work tomorrow, no problem.
Okay, so we'll reconvene and then do a WhatsApp call and talk about it together. Okay, so that let's save the people for F1 this space, because this case we need to trash it, and then so you can bear yourself out. All right.
Okay, thank you
all
very
right.
much.
I hope this helps a little bit.
Yeah, it does so much.
Okay, so just go back and think, and look at the areas that I poked on your information, and see what you can bring in and your arguments, so that we can look at it again.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. So we have Olani and Naomi. Olani, are you ready? I hope everybody. I hope they've not slept on me. Alani, are you ready? Naomi, are you ready? Any of you, whoever that is ready, let's go. Any other person? Is there any other person ready? I don't mind. If you are ready, respond.
Hello, I'm ready. Hello.
All right, Naomi. Do you have a question or you want to go for interview?
I want to go.
All right. Is this your first interview?
Yes, this is my first interview.
And where are you traveling to?
Alabama State University.
What are you going there to do?
I'm going to pursue a bachelor's degree in computer information systems.
What did you study in your first degree?
I'm not gotten the first degree. I'm pursuing a bachelor's.
Oh, sorry. This is your bachelor's. Okay. How old are you?
Yes. I'm 18 years.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So why did you choose this course?
I chose this course because I'm fascinated about technology shapes our world, and it also it blends a unique combination of computer science, business, and communication. Lastly, I feel that with this course, I can make my own impacts and leave my own footprint in Nigeria, because there are so many places in Nigeria that needs to be automated, and so many sectors like healthcare. And I believe that through this course, I can be able to achieve that.
Do you have any area or any industry you want to specialize in your IT, in your information system?
I would like to specialize in the business sector.
All right. So why don't you talk about that area? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it gives your VO a clue about this lady is focused. She knows what she's looking for. You want to do information system, and then you channel it to that area that you want to, and talk about a case study, some of the loopholes and weaknesses that our Nigerian system has in those areas that you want to solve or you want to fix. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So you pick it that way. So do you have you heard me talk about bullet points before?
Can you say it again, please?
Have you heard me talk about bullet points?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So in answering that question, try and learn to maybe use it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you chose this.
Okay.
You chose this course for 2 reasons or for 3 reasons. First, you talk about the situation in Nigeria. Talk about, just like you mentioned, you got the vibe, but use a practical experience about, use a practical experience to apply this information system experience to the business world, where it will be beneficial in the business world. The problems is going to solve, and the solutions is going to bring. Okay?
Yes.
Do you have a scholarship?
Yes, I have a scholarship that covers the cost of my tuition, books, and fees.
How much is your
All
scholarship?
left is my living expenses.
How much is your tuition?
My scholarship is, the cost of attendance is $19,000. The scholarship covers $11,000.
come again. How much is your scholarship?
My scholarship is $11,568.
Good. Did you see the difference in the way I asked you that question? Assuming if it comes that way, that's the way you answer it. Don't run around it. They ask you how much is your scholarship. They know already. They have it there, but they ask you that question to assess your knowledge. Answer it the way you have to, in a very forwarded manner, instead of running around it. What it covered. They didn't ask you what it covered.
Okay.
They ask you straight question, how much? You say it, and just period. Then how much is your tuition? 19 what?
No, the cost of attendance is $19,000.
And then your scholarship is 11,000.
11,568. Yes.
Okay. So if they ask you, why did you choose this school? Why did you choose this school? Are you there? Hello?
Okay, I should answer it.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I chose the Alabama State. Okay. I chose the Alabama State University because it has a great computer and information systems programs, which is used to their alliances with Microsoft or Oracle,
and
IBM, ensuring that the class.
Hold on. When they ask you this question,
Okay.
Do you have a reference? Did anybody recommend you to this school? Did anybody recommend you to the school? Hello?
No, actually, I saw it. No, I just had a list of schools that I was applying to, and it was the school I got the most scholarship from. So I just chose the school.
Okay, so why did you choose?
I wasn't recommended by anybody.
Okay, so why did you choose this school? First of all, talk about your scholarship.
I chose it because I chose the school.
Your scholarship should come first, then every other reason secondary. Okay? Give yourself credit for that, so that the VO will know that this person is a bright student. Okay? Give yourself credit for that. Based on my excellent academic records, I was awarded a scholarship to the tune of 11,500 plus, which covers this. All right? That's the reason why you chose the school. Then the third reason, you can now mention this thing you're talking about. Or the second reason, you can now mention what this school has, the kind of facilities they have that will help you to, that tallies with what what you have in your program of experience. You talk about this program in such a way that this school has a tool that you can harness to solve a problem in Nigeria. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So you present it that way. Present it in such a way that this school has something that aligns well with your experience, or aligns well with your plan, or aligns well with your program, or aligns well with what you plan to do. But you can't answer this question without having a case study. Look around Nigeria, look around the industries, look at the weaknesses in the industry, in the IT industry and information system in Nigeria. There are many new trends coming up that Nigerian industry don't have. Look around very well. This is about your research as a student. So this is where you go now to look around and see what we don't have in Nigeria that you can gain from this school. Then you talk about it. It's some kind of comparative analysis. You get this info, you get this knowledge, and use it to solve a problem. Okay?
Okay.
Is this helping at all?
Yes, it's helping. I'm taking notes.
You don't have to take note, but that's okay. You can always go back to this video. It's streaming live and listen to it. Okay? So that the most important thing is for you to listen to me, to focus. Taking notes at this moment is not essential. When it's recorded, you can always go back and listen to it as much as you can. So it's just for you to listen and see how you're responding. So remember, why did you choose this school? First one is give yourself credit for the scholarship since you don't have a reference. And talk about the school in a very subtle manner, but talk about what this school is going to give you that you are going to use to solve a problem in Nigeria. Then identify a problem in this sector in Nigeria and talk about how you're going to deal with it. By so doing, you are indirectly telling your VO that you're coming back after studies. All right? Assuming if they ask you what is your plan, what is your long-term plan, or what is your plan after school, it will still fall back to the same answer. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And who is covering the remaining deficits of your program?
My father is the one that's covering the remaining deficits of the
All
program.
right. So they may want to know what your father is doing. Has your father sponsored anybody overseas before?
No, he has not.
All right. They may want to know what your father does, how much he makes annually. You don't have to say that here. And I think that will be it. They may want to know your position in the family, where your siblings are, what they are doing. Do you have any family member here?
In Nigeria?
In the US?
Or in US? Yes, my aunt is living in the US.
So that is not your family member. Well, it's a family member maybe, but that question, if it comes out, you just be careful. You just be careful. A lot of people get in trouble with that kind of question. I'll leave that to you. So, because normally when you talk about family members, they feel like you are not coming back to Nigeria. So I just want to bring that to your notice, so you know about that. All right. So I can't ask you if you're married because you're not. You're 18. So, do you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
All right. When is your interview again?
It's on the 28th.
Okay. So if you have any questions before then, just shoot me a text and let me know. Okay. But so far, did this interview help in any way? Did it help in any way?
Yes, it did.
Okay. So go back to this video and take a look at it and see how you were responding and some of the corrections that I made. And your boldness is good, but there's a little tension on your voice. So you can just make sure you don't have that and keep the interview conversational, not like, interview, but conversational. All right, because your course is on STEM.
Okay.
So everybody going into everybody in the medical field or in the IT is on STEM. STEM, you know what STEM means?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So you should have an opportunity for your visa. All right. That said, I will say congratulations. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So the next person, Ame, you just joined. Who is that? Who said I'm here?
Olani.
Okay. Olani. Yeah. So are you ready?
Yes. Yeah.
So Have you traveled out of the country before?
No.
Who is paying? Okay, sorry. Where are you traveling to?
I'm traveling to Western Illinois University.
West what?
Western Illinois University. Illinois.
I want to hear that location. I didn't hear it. Where are you traveling to?
Western Illinois University.
Okay, Western Illinois University. Okay. And what are you going there to do?
I'm going for a master's program in community and sustainable development.
What did you major in your first degree?
I majored in agricultural and resource economics.
Hmm?
I majored in agricultural and resource economics.
And what are you doing currently?
I'm currently working as a teacher.
You're currently working on what? I'm struggling to hear you. Can you speak up a little bit more?
So I'm currently working as a teacher.
Okay. What are you teaching?
I'm teaching agriculture and economics.
In a secondary school or in a university?
Yeah, in secondary school.
Okay. Now, why did you choose this course?
Okay. I have interest in this particular field of study. At the same time, it perfectly aligns with my future the most, or with my career. Also, I also want to have a long-term business in ensuring that I have a business that can actually help me stay away from that can actually put me in a private sector or working for myself.
You're digressing. If you talk this way, you won't even finish what you're saying. I'll be typing, and you know what that means. So let me process your information. You studied agricultural economics, right?
Yes.
And then you are going for what?
I'm going for community and afterwards. Sorry.
Did you say you forgot what you was going for? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
That tension is what is. Oh my goodness! I know you are tensed up. That's why I am trying to take you back and forth.
Okay.
But you have to resist that tension, because that tension would cost you your visa. See that tension. Drink a lot of water that very day. And make sure when you're talking, you're fidgeting, because that tension really caught me too. So I want you to just start curing it now. All right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You have to start curing it now, because if you don't cure it, it will cure you. And I don't want it to cure you. So what I'm going to say is, when they ask you, why did you choose this course? What they are looking for is, I chose this course because I have a background in agricultural economics, and currently I'm currently teaching in a school, or I'm currently teaching. What are you teaching?
Agricultural and economics.
Yeah?
Agricultural and economics. Agricultural science and economics.
Agric and economics. And what are you going to study?
Yeah, I'm going to study community and sustainable development.
Community and sustainable development.
Yes.
All right. So when they ask you in agricultural economics, and I've been teaching agric and economics, I'm a secondary school teacher, or I'm a teacher. I've been teaching this area for how long now?
For 2 years now.
Yeah?
2 years.
For 2 years. So I've been teaching in this field for the past 2 years, and because of the new trends in this area, I'm feeling limited, or I feel limited in my experience to continue to serve the needs of my students. Hence the reason why I want to upgrade my experience to be able to serve them better. Please, that thing you talk about having your business, please, can you keep that thing on the side? It does not support your case. Okay? If you mention your business, you are digressing. So stick to one thing. And everybody here, if you have a business and you are applying for something else, stick to one thing. When you put here and put here, that will just put a hydra-headed argument on your case. So you don't want to put your case in two angles. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Then if they ask you that question, talk about it from your background. Start from your background, what you measured in your first degree, what you are doing, and the challenges. Give a case study, the challenges you are encountering as a teacher, and tell us how this community, you said it's community what?
So community and sustainable development.
So how is this, what is the connection between what you're doing, what you studied, and this course now?
I think it's kind of.
Hmm?
Can you take it again?
What is the relationship between what you studied in the university for first degree and what you are currently doing as a teacher and what you want to study? What is the connection?
In my university, I majored in agriculture, and
You've said that before. I want the connection. What is the connection? How does community development relate to agri-economics?
Okay. Going into agriculture will definitely enhance the country and also bring about improvement in the country's economic capacity.
That's not the question. The question is, what is the connection? So you don't have to answer it. I want you to go back to this video and look at it. Okay? You have to bridge that divide. There's a divide there that you have to tell your VO why you chose this course. They want to know why you chose this course. Because you're making a major shift. You are moving from another field, from a different field to another field. You have to convince your VO, because these are things you wrote on your DS-160. They may ask this question, they may not ask it, but you don't have to wait until that moment. So you have to have your own background reason why you are making this jump from one case study to another case study. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so take your time, review this video, research on this community development or whatever, then find a way to connect it with your primary responsibility and what you studied. All right?
Okay.
Then do you have a scholarship?
Yes.
How much?
$4,000 scholarship.
How much is your program?
21,500.
Okay. So because of this, when they ask you why did you choose this school,
okay,
what are you gonna say?
Why I chose this school? I chose this school because I want to gain an in-depth knowledge and professional skill and experience from professors who are not just ranked by their titles.
Hold on. This is a blanket statement. Even if you say this from now to January, it wouldn't matter, because it's not applied to you. It does not reflect you personally. So they may want to know, why did you choose this course? Do you have a reference? Did anybody recommend you to the school or told you about the school?
Okay.
Yeah?
Someone from US.
When you say someone from the US,
yes,
is the person schooling in that place?
It's like an uncle also.
Please, I don't want to get involved with that. So just avoid that one entirely.
Okay.
So why did you choose this school? You talk about your scholarship. They offered you a scholarship to the tune of this. Then you talk about what this school is offering in this area. That's why I said you have to go and research on this community development. Talk about it, because it's a very big issue in the sense that if you're not able to explain to your VO to convince them, they will wonder what the connection is or why you chose it. All right? Yeah. So it goes back to the last question. For you to answer why you chose the school, you really need to answer what this course is going to be doing in that school and what you intend to study, what you intend to do with this course when you come back home. So I'm asking you to go back to your research and find out about this community development, what it will help you, and how does it relate to agric economics. Okay.
Yeah.
So are you? Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll just. I think the issue is I know about this course, but I think presenting my case out is just the issue. Like voicing out everything about this. So it's not that I do the content of the course from my school. I know it is very into three parts. We have the economic development, you have the business development, and you also have the marketing and data.
So that is your course. That's why I'm asking you this question. And it's good that I'm poking on you so that it's good that I'm poking at you so that you see some of the loopholes I'm seeing. I understand that agric economics is a vast area, but there has to be a link to what you want to do, the community development. That's what we are talking about. And if you are shocked or if you are traumatized or scared or feeling nervous because of this conversation, it's also part of the interview. It's just like they used to say, everything where they inside fish, na fish. So it's part of the interview. Even if you are shaking or you are trembling, it's part of the interview. So you have to fight this problem, the problem of anxiety or fear, just for the sake of the interview. Okay?
Yeah.
But remember, the interview is very simple. It doesn't take long. You have first 90 seconds to make your point. The rest will just be to add flesh to the argument. Once you have this in your mind and a good presentation, then you're good to go. And you seem like a very smart guy. So intelligent people don't pass interview. Only smart people do.
I guess. Yeah,
all right.
I understand.
So you don't need to be intelligent, but you must be smart to be able to pass the interview. So I wish you all the best as you go back to this video to review this conversation and prepare for it before your interview. Okay. All right. It looks like that is. Yeah.
The funding partner.
So who is paying for your program?
My uncle.
When you say your uncle, huh?
Yes, your uncle will be the one taking care of the deficit.
In Nigeria we have uncle. We have uncle.
In Nigeria, you talk about uncle in Nigeria for you.
Eh?
I'm talking about the uncle here in Nigeria.
Okay.
Uncle.
Now I always encourage people, instead of using my uncle, break it down. Talk about my dad's brother or my mom's brother.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Who is paying for your program?
My mom's brother.
Period. That is more defined. So you don't get into trouble of having maybe an agent sponsoring you that you're going to pay, and they want you to stay away from any financial burden. But when you mention it this way, my mom's brother, has this mom's brother sponsored anybody overseas before?
No.
I'm not hearing you, Oga.
No.
Okay. So for anybody who is here, if you have anybody sponsoring you that has sponsored someone before, overseas, and the person is back in Nigeria, please, that is the time you can mention it. My uncle, he also, who is sponsoring you? My uncle, he was also the one that sponsored my elder brother or my younger brother, or he also sponsored. He paid for his, he also sponsored his kids overseas. They are all in Nigeria. So you build a pattern from that. They want to use it to understand, okay, this person that is sponsoring is capable of doing that. And the people he sponsored are all back. So, all right. All right. So I wish you all the best and congratulations as you work on this, okay?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
All right. It looks like that is the last person. Do we have any other person? So I can. I have to call it a day here. Okay, Shama. Shama, yes, you have a question.
Yes.
You've been hiding. All right. Okay, shoot.
I'm back here. Good evening, Mr. Anthony.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for taking the time out.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I wanted to jump on the mark, but frankly, I'm not exactly prepared. But I have a question. I'm just here taking notes. And
you have an entire video, and I forgot to tell all of you to go to that video and subscribe. I'm gonna post the link on the chat. Go to that video and subscribe, please. Subscribe and share as much as you can. What is it again? Yeah.
But then I have a question concerning my sponsorship.
All right.
I've been to the embassy on 2 occasions, and I had a sponsor of the first time was my uncle, and then the second time it was the same uncle, but he's also my employer. So the second time I went saying that he's my employer, but this third time I'm going with my dad as my sponsor. Now, the company gave a leave allowance. That's the company I work for.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a token of $2,000. Then my dad is covering, the entire deficit. So on my I-20,
hold on a second. So I've shared the link, the YouTube link in the chat, in this chat. So just subscribe, like, and share. Yeah, continue, Shama.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. So I put that to my school at the time of the processing of my I-20, and then on the sponsor part, they indicated family funds and third party for my sponsor. They also indicated personal funds, but personal funds is the other side. So now I know that I don't know for sure, but I just feel like it may spark, questions. Please, how do I reasonably explain this to the visa officer? Because I don't want to go there and confuse the person.
How many times have you been denied visa?
Twice.
What were the reasons?
Okay, the first time, frankly, I was very unprepared. I went there with a lackadaisical attitude, and I didn't even have answers to the questions I was being asked. That was the first time.
Is it F1? Is it F1?
Yes, F1.
Okay.
Yeah, the first time was in 2021, September.
Okay.
I just went, I got admission, and the lady asked me why I chose this city. And I was confused, and I told her it was because of the weather. I just went there anyhow. So the second time was last May, 2022. And then I think my interview was going quite okay. The lady was denying so many persons because she was asking everybody the same question. She would ask, why did you choose the school? And everybody would seem to be giving her similar responses. So once you respond at the time, she just ends it there.
Similar response like what?
I don't really remember. But I remember that it was the school is ranked as this, those cliche responses.
Blanket response. Yeah.
Yes. So she was the only one interviewing that day.
Mass production.
She was really, exactly. It was almost looking as everybody was having the same thing in their mind. So she was denying real quick on the spot. So when it got to my turn, she asked about why I chose the school. I told her I chose the school because of the program. I gave a brief explanation. So she gave me a little more opportunity to speak on how she was cutting every other person off that day. And then she spoke about my job, We spoke about different things. Then she asked about my sponsorship. And then she said, oh, I see so person is sponsoring you. I said, yes. And then she asked, okay, that's okay. She said, she asked why. And honestly, I wasn't prepared for that question. So I didn't even know where to go from there.
Who was sponsoring you?
It was the CEO of the company I work, which is also my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
So I had explained the fact that it was this sponsoring me on behalf of the company, blah, blah. And then she asked why. And I think she wanted me to just expatiate on, my post-graduation plans and my plans for the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I started explaining how he was also my uncle. So I saw her make a face, and I think that was where I lost her.
Mm.
So this time around, I'm no longer going with the company sponsoring. I'm going with my dad sponsoring.
Mm-hmm.
But the company placing me on study leave. So the truth is that they're giving me an allowance, not study leave. So I don't know if I should say leave allowance or I should say study leave.
Are you still working with this same company?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And who is sponsoring you on your I-20? Whose name is there?
The school puts family, funds, and third party. Those were the words.
Family, funds, and third party.
Yes.
Okay. So what is your problem now?
Okay. I want to know if I should explain the third party as a study leave allowance, like a paid study leave, or just a one-off leave allowance. I don't know
this is the problem many of us have. When an organization is sponsoring you, you don't talk too much. The more you talk, you mess up your point. You go there. Who is sponsoring you? Who is you have a scholarship already? After answering the question, who is sponsoring you? My dad, and also I got a career advancement support from my company. Period. Or a career advancement sponsorship from my company. Period. How long have you worked for this company?
2 years.
How many?
2 years.
2 years. So that is too fresh. So you gotta be careful. 2
Yes.
2 years is fragile. You really need to have to. What do you do in that company?
Okay, I work as a technical project coordinator.
Okay, so you really like your area really needs to be like a special place. So really need to be special for them to give you this kind of opportunity. So how do you solve that in your presentation when you start talking about why you chose the course and all that? You have to factor it in your role. You have to package your role to argue for the reason why this company is investing this much in you.
Okay.
All right. Every organization have their own laws. Some will tell you after 2 years you are due for career advancement, and they may want to know the other people. Has this company sponsored other people before? Oh yeah, everybody who is due for that after 2 years. After 2 years, you're due for that, depending on your promotions. Then you can talk about your promotion, maybe when you want to talk about why you chose the course. In your experience and your line, you can argue from that. So when you start arguing from that, it explains it easily why a company should sponsor you because of your landmark already. It's not how long you've been there, but how well. But if you didn't state all this, how well and how your landmark, how you attend to that place, and you mentioned your company is sponsoring you, I'll look at you with double 430 eyes. So you have to build that foundation to evade suspicion, because you've already been denied visa before. So you have to, go straight to the point.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. take care. Take your time and go back to this video and be able to take it. I'm actually I'm worn out right now, so I'm itching to just get off here.
Thank you so much.
So I want to thank all of you for being here, for staying this long. I think I will make out time tomorrow to have one more. My off day ends tomorrow, so I make out time tomorrow to have one more interview, and then we can wrap up everything together. So I wish you all the best, and go back to this video, subscribe, share it with any group or any Facebook or any friends you know that needs this, and subscribe. And when you when you sign up for the notification, it will always let you know whenever I'm online. Okay, once you click on notification, once I go online, it will just pop you, so you don't have to forget about it. You don't have to start asking when. So usually when people come on my on WhatsApp and ask me, are we going to have this, I said, go and subscribe. When you subscribe, once I go online, you'll see me. It's just very simple. So thank you so much. Ayokunde, Chimezie, Chikwe, Gift, Temidayo, Olaniyi, Oluchi, and Shama. Thank you so much. So if I have,
so much, sir.
Yeah, if I have Oluchi, I think I still have with Oluchi, you and your husband, yeah, we'll still have a bone to crush. Good.
Okay, sir.
All right. Let's finalize on that, and this is going to be off the streaming. So I'm shutting down the streaming, and then I wish you all a blessed night, a peaceful night, and a happy end. May the Lord grant you all a quiet night and a perfect end. Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you tomorrow.